And Bob Harrington.
Gray Draper.
Great. So we have a quorum, so we start with saluting of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So far.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have an applicant tonight. So, let me just see. So this is White Oaks Road. Is that right?
No, on Parade Road?
Oh, yeah,
Parade Road.
Parade Road,
Yeah.
okay. So where is it? Here it is. Okay. 3048 Parade Road. Okay. We're gonna take you first so we don't hold you up.
All right.
Let you get out before it gets really cold.
He said he sat in traffic
Bad
for an
accident. I
hour.
was on 93 for an hour and exit 19. Are you Gray?
Yeah.
I sent you an email. I didn't know if I was gonna get here.
Oh man, well I'm
I was
glad
sitting
you're
there I was planning to go to O's to eat and come here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. It was pretty, but, they were just,
Where were you coming up from?
Massachusetts, right on the Salem. I'm in Middleton, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, I still live in Massachusetts, but about an hour and a half
Someday,
away.
someday.
Yeah, I have a home in Mountainborough, so
There you go.
I love it here.
Okay, so you wanna
Alright.
tell us what you're gonna do?
Yes, so my name is Steve Maiuri. I am the manager of Parade Road Development. I purchased 5 acres, and then I am doing a boundary line adjustment with 3048 Parade Road to create 2 lots. Lot 1 is 2 acres and has the required frontage. Has a septic has been approved and a well. And then Lot 2, which is my reason for being here tonight, is 3.37 acres, has its own septic system, and it meets the well radius requirement. So, my building envelope is a little odd shaped due to the wetlands on the left-hand side of the property. And through my, preliminary meetings with the planning director and the TRC meeting, they seemed seemed feasible to request a waiver from the wetland setback from 50 feet to 25. My understanding is the driveways are exempt from waivers, wetland setbacks.
I'm still trying to get there.
Okay, so is it the,
On my plan, I have a full-size plan.
I looked at it before I came, but
I know I can't read an iPad.
so is it,
Phone.
just to try to get to our agenda.
So where the proposed house is, it's,
okay, so
right.
there's a house and it's connected to the garage?
Yeah, but that's,
What? That's it, right?
that's the existing house. Where's
so this is the property to the right of 3048.
you're,
Okay.
I don't
so there's
see, yeah, because there's a new one proposed here. Is there another page?
Okay, so maybe you should show us a full
Yeah.
size.
Yeah, this is a lot easier.
Yeah. Okay, so which one are you talking about?
So this is this lot. So this is a
Okay.
5-acre parcel here. And then my boundary line adjustment with 3048 is this triangle. Then we subdivide and create 2 lots. This is lot 1 and lot 2. This is the proposed house. And my building envelope is, see how it's odd shaped? So this would make me 25 feet from the wetlands instead of 50. My entire building envelope is actually 25 feet, almost 25 feet from the wetland. Not all of it, but the edge.
Okay, all right, now I know what part you're talking about, so. That's,
There, I got it for you.
Yeah, thank you.
You can, yeah.
So, yeah, it's there, yeah, I just found mine. Okay, so you had the whole lot
Correct.
and you're splitting it.
Yeah, I'm creating this lot, and then I did a boundary line adjustment with the gentleman next door for this is his right here. And then we, to give me the frontage
Right.
for 2 lots.
What are you gonna do with that second lot?
This I actually sold to a local person in Laconia, pre-sold it, haven't sold it yet, but they're gonna,
That's the right-hand one.
right, yeah, there's no, yeah.
And this lot, this house
This
is
is me,
being
this-
built for,
I'd like to build to rent. I'm looking to build it to rent.
So, okay, so, all right, now I need to look at that again, 'cause I don't see where the house is.
Right here. This,
Oh, okay, okay. So, what's your setback from, Parade Road?
it's 75 feet. I meet the required setback requirements from the zoning ordinance.
Okay, so that, is the setback, the required setback 75 feet?
Yeah.
Of course.
Side setbacks. So this building, this envelope here is the building envelope that meets all the requirements for setbacks for zoning ordinance.
Okay,
Like, just like this one does, and I have this very weird shape, building envelope because of, the wetlands. But not zoning setbacks, not dimensional setbacks, if that makes sense.
how far back does the lot go?
It goes back quite a bit, probably 600 feet here, goes back to here. But this is like a river back here,
Mhm.
right here.
all right, so, I know our planning department would love this. How about if we reduce the setback from, Parade Road, so that you could pull your house in this way?
I can't, you mean a variance? They won't.
Mm-hmm.
They won't, they're not gonna allow me.
So, what
That's
is,
a
this is,
septic.
this is your septic. So what if we flip-flop, put your septic on this side and your house on this side?
I'd be in the side setback.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'll be in the side, this is the side setback, this is the edge of it. This house will not fit, the only place this house will fit
It's right
is
there.
right there. Yeah, I would be
I guess
in,
my question would have been, why did you divide the lots like that?
just to get the frontage. 250.
Right, but
And to meet the minimum 2 acres. This is 2 acres, and this had to be 2 acres. So it was a little bit, my hands were a little tied.
so the 50-foot setback, is that listed on here? Where it would be here? That's, is that this circle?
No, that's the
No.
well radius. I know that the edge is 25, so the 50 would probably pull you into about halfway through the house. It would just give me almost be, probably couldn't even fit like a normal, probably couldn't even build a house there,
Right,
really small house.
right.
So would you consider selling the lot?
No, I would have to move the lot lines
No, I mean, you got, sell this lot.
to,
Don't worry about the details, we're not there yet.
I'm not, no, I don't know.
Versus developing it.
To be honest, I'm doing it for rental.
I
As long as it-
understand.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea how much 2 acres goes for in the city of Laconia. Gray, do you know how much 2 acres go for in the city of Laconia?
No, I wouldn't know off the top of my head.
I mean, if I have to move the lot lines, I guess, I could make like odd shaped lot lines.
Right, that's,
So,
But I would have done it, but they didn't think it was
I mean, I'd rather see a variance to the 2 acres and have
I won't
that-
need a variance for 2 acres, I could create the 2 acres. It's,
it
so I
would
won't
just-
need a variance.
It would be a skinnier,
It would just, I'd move that lot line over, on
Right.
lot one, kind of go like this,
and it could go,
stagger it, and
it
then,
could go up higher.
and then, yeah, yeah.
So you already sold this lot?
I haven't sold it, it's pre-sold. I haven't conveyed it, cause I haven't got my approvals for the subdivision yet.
So what if you were to move this line over here?
Well, that's what I would
Well,
have to do.
he'd have to move it this way. Needs that
Well,
frontage.
I could go like this and like this.
Right, you could go this way,
Yeah.
and then you can move your house over this way, and you wouldn't be in the wetlands.
Well, I'm not in the well, I'm in the setback, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be, right, in the setback, right.
I wouldn't be here tonight if they didn't, I wasn't
If they didn't what?
direct, I was kinda, I did my due diligence with
Right.
the
No, no,
city
no, no.
to see if this was something feasible. It's, I mean, I don't, it's not gonna make my buyer happy on lot one, but it's
So, this is 25 feet here?
35.
35, okay. Even if you just bumped it out
That's what I would do.
and bring
Did
it
you
back
buy
in.
it from this person?
I did the boundary line adjustment with him, right here, just
Yeah.
this. And I bought this from these people, Spanos.
Spanos.
Across the street. So this was 5 acres, but I just did this little, Sean's in my,
So it was like this.
yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah, this wall just,
gotcha.
Yep.
Cause I mean, you knew there were wetlands when you bought it, kind of.
I actually did, honestly, when I bought it, I didn't know.
No,
I didn't know till after they did the delineation. I didn't know. I was surprised, cause I had walked it, but I had not walked. Shame on me, but I hadn't, I just didn't walk this part of it.
right.
So I didn't know till I got it back, and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize they, but,
Hey, Gray,
Yeah.
if we ask them to change this boundary line, what do we have to do? What does he have to do after that? He has to go back to the planning board, or to the planning department?
I am scheduled for the 4th. I have a planning hearing for the 4th, so I can do it,
The 4th of March.
March, yeah.
Yes.
But I have to change it with the state now too, cause I submitted this to the state, so,
Does that cost money?
yeah.
Of course,
Yeah, it
that's a
was,
silly question.
yep.
So what,
You see
so what
this?
we're trying to do is, we're trying to protect the
Can you
wetlands.
see what he had
And
to
the
do?
reason we're trying to do it is
This was the
because
lot,
Yeah.
they're important
and then he
when it
bought
comes
this little
to
section
getting clean
Yeah.
drinking
so that he
water, having
the frontage
habitat,
that
he
you know,
needed.
all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And
Right.
so,
He's totally within
so
the setback,
if you were the
Oh.
the
only
50-foot setback,
person who came
which.
and said, hey, I'd like you to let me build in the wetlands,
and
it would be
if he
like,
did the
oh, okay, so
50-foot
what's
setback, it
one,
would be
right?
to here.
I'm not
But-
in the
Yeah.
wetland.
I know,
Oh, yeah.
but you're in the
This is the
wetland buffer.
wetland
Buffer.
So
Yeah, yeah.
so we would, but it's like everybody,
Yeah. So
because
this
they're
is-
coming in,
50 feet,
and they
he
got
wants
these
to make it
pieces of
25.
property
This
that
is-
you have to shoehorn stuff
This is on the
into,
west
like
side,
this.
according to site plan.
This
so
is-
it's
Yes.
on the
You know,
west side.
Yes.
This is all wetlands in
So
here.
this is
In the back,
toward
yeah.
Laconia.
In
No.
right here, it's a stream, it's like a
Toward
stream or something.
Meredith,
Okay,
that direction,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
Grace, so what does he have to do if we ask him to change the boundary line here?
So any boundary line adjustment, so he already came before and is going through the process for a boundary line adjustment. Anything that would be a change to the site plan would have to go through the whole planning
Process
process
again.
again. Yeah.
But it should be easier this time because it's got most of the stuff here.
It still has to go through, I don't know if you would have to go to ZBA, but you would still have to go to TRC again, and then it would be pushed back to
I have to start
a
over.
later planning board meeting.
They may want me to start over.
Do you have your wetland scientist report?
I don't have the delineation or anything, it's just the Atlantic Survey, local,
What does
Surveyor.
that say?
This says it's Joseph Knoll did it,
And when did he do it?
oh, he did this,
August 30th,
yeah, summer, I was gonna say, yeah.
So it was
last summer.
dry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the runoff starts here. And go-
And
That,
ends
that
there.
topographical line.
No, the runoff comes from here, ends here, from this. The seasonal runoff literally ends right there. There's no wetlands on this lot. It's just, I think when this overfills, it just runs down here a little bit and stops.
Right. It just follows these topographical lines.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, I mean, he ended, I don't, just going by what they
And tell us what,
proposed.
so this is 7:30, 7:20. The water's going down that way. This is 7:30.
Yeah, everything goes down, slowly, gently slopes.
Yeah, so it's all sloping. It's all sloping down to the creek. Makes sense. And then it goes down into Pickerel Pond.
Right.
How big is this house?
It's 46 by 40, so it's 1,900 square foot ranch.
This is
So
the boundary,
well, yeah, this is here.
yeah.
Are
So
you
is this a
gonna,
stone wall here?
Yeah, that's the, yep, it's existing now, yep. That's the existing lot line today,
And it, but this is the stone, this is stone wall.
which is the existing lot line today. But then when you add this boundary line adjustment piece, this will be the new lot line.
Right, but,
That's there, yeah.
yeah, what do you have to do to take down a stone wall? Gray, don't you have to get approval?
Stone wall. We had someone else with a stone wall, and I can't quite remember who they had to go through, but I think you need like a permit or
I think
You
you
need
need a
approval.
permit if it is on a boundary line. If you own both sides of the boundary, then I don't think you need, is that right, Bob? Do you know?
that's how I understand it.
a stone wall, do you need to get special,
I
Quick.
don't know.
you don't know?
Nothing came up on TRC, it's interesting, I've never, but I would end up owning both sides of the wall.
Right.
Yeah, I think if he owns both sides of the wall, he's all set.
Right.
So is there gonna be a garage?
Yes. Comes in like this, underneath.
Underneath?
Yep.
So in your plans, you have the garage underneath, do you have any other rooms underneath with that garage?
No, I wasn't, not right now, no, I wasn't gonna finish anything in the basement.
Cause there's a good chance it could be pretty wet. I don't know, how have your pits been, your test pits?
Yeah, they're on there. We, 18 inches at. So these two, one was 37 and one was 18.
Percolation is
I did the test pits myself, I mean, it was the summer, I didn't hit any water.
Right.
In the summer, you might not.
Right,
Right.
no, I know, it's the summer. But the seasonal high water table is there. I see what you mean when you dig down from, there's not a lot of excavation here? Where this, the footing would actually go, it's like
Kinda drops off.
drops off slow, it's gently sloping.
Okay.
There's only like,
That might help, yeah.
yeah, there's not much of a cut there for, literally, I mean, literally this is right on grade, this back wall, but probably 3 or 4 feet. Shaving it out and then literally the poor footing right on there. So then and then it's a walkout.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's why I did the under.
Right, right. I'm sorry, I haven't had a chance to read through all the notes, but driveway material was going to be,
I was planning asphalt unless there's something else that,
something
Permeable?
permeable would be preferable.
what
Even
did
if
they,
it- Keep it stone.
we keep it stone. We could do that.
But then, so there's no building, no constructions
No,
planned here, but there would, construction wouldn't be allowed there because, I mean, this is all wetlands.
oh yeah, you can't even get across, yeah. The
If-
back of the lot is completely unbuildable.
Right, so if your wetland scientist did it in August, just like Deb said, you know, it's, we would rather see it in the spring. You know, like go out there and do the wetland delineation in the spring, because that's when it's wetter. But,
When were you planning to start building,
April.
if the weather cooperates?
True. So, for site work and tree clearing is,
you what?
for site work and tree clearing, the weather wouldn't hold us back, but as long as there's no snow,
So what does this site look like now? Is it all trees?
all trees.
And how much were you planning to clear?
Well, I have to go back just as long as, I don't wanna clear as least as I can, least amount as possible, but I probably have to go back to here because of the well. So this is about 30,000 square feet.
So
But
this,
to get a well in here, truck, and to do this well right there, it's gonna have to cut back to at least 10 feet past the well.
so this whole lot is 3.37 acres.
Right, and I always leave, I mean, the septic is here, but I definitely leave a buffer of trees here. I always like to, obviously I gotta leave the tree, I always try to leave a 25-foot, 30-foot buffer of natural woodland boundary, except for where the septic is, obviously, but, yeah, so I'm never gonna, not cutting anything past here. It's too expensive too.
All right, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, put a line straight across here, not a property line, but a line right across here, and never develop this property, this part of the property.
And I'd probably change the lot line.
No, I'm not
No,
saying.
I don't
I'm not
think-
saying, I'm saying,
No,
we would,
I know, but if you did that, I think that I'd probably just come back, change the lot lines, and come back with not, just be 50 feet away. Because there is the potential that you could possibly, if they change the accessory dwelling unit law in New Hampshire, that you could put accessory dwelling there. You could put it here too, but I don't wanna restrict myself, I don't know,
right,
um,
and we don't want these.
oh, no, I'm
those
not going
damaged.
back, nothing's,
But-
nothing's ever coming from here back, ever. You can't even, that's all. This isn't, for me, I walked this, again, it was the summer, not that it matters, but, I mean, this is wet, big, really wet. I was surprised, that this was a wetland. didn't even, a lot of, you know, ferns, you know, but I didn't see it until I literally walked it with the surveyor after they, not that I'm a specialist, but I was surprised. I know it's still a wetland. A wetland is a wetland, who's a wetland? If it's gonna be a lot of, you know, I can just move the lot lines.
We can only make suggestions.
Yeah, we
We
have,
don't have teeth in this business.
but,
But I would be inclined to ask you to move the lot line, only because the wetlands are getting more and more encroached on, and that's a pretty sensitive area, because we have pickerel pond back behind there.
down here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen it on
I
a map.
just,
But do you really think that that's gonna be impacted by putting it instead of 50? If I move the house
Yeah.
50 feet, is it really gonna make a difference if it's 50 or 25? The
yeah,
state
we
doesn't
have,
even have a buffer zone.
right.
No,
but
the
we
state
do.
doesn't, but we do.
No, I know, but they must feel that, you know, you can, again, I wish they told me up front. I
Right,
wouldn't
right.
do
I'm
this.
So-
sure, I'm sure.
So the other thing we could do is we could talk to Rob Mora, the Director of Planning,
Mhm.
and see what his suggestions would be.
He's gonna
You
say
know, what-
move the lot lines.
What?
The only thing I can do is I'll just change the lot lines. There's no other, I'm not gonna go for a variance. I'm not gonna get it. And that's more heavy lifting with zoning board than it is I'll just meet it. I'll just change the lot lines and meet all the requirements and move the house over, and it's just costing me a lot of money. It's just a lot of money
Like
to
I
do
said,
it.
we just make suggestions.
But
I mean, I wish, yeah, I wish people would understand before they, you know, make their plans, that they really
I
investigate the wetlands.
I sat down with them and showed them this plan with the wetlands and said, I'm gonna put, and they said a driveway's exempt, so you can put the driveway right there, and 25 feet is reasonable, and I'm not, they didn't.
Right.
I'm not criticizing them, they just,
no, but-
I did do, when I sat down with them, they did tell me about it, so I did,
Who did you sit down with?
Rob and Trevor,
Okay.
is it Trevor?
Okay, so his area.
Before TRC.
Yeah, his area of expertise is planning. Ours is environmental.
No, I know.
So we
But
have.
that's what the meeting is for, preliminary.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out a way that we don't necessarily, we don't delay your project, but, you know, it's, the wetland survey was done at the wrong time of year.
What, is it time of year that you do wetlands?
We do it in
anymore?
spring.
What is it?
He was dated in August.
If you can only do delineations once a year, you'll never get anything done.
No, you do them in the spring.
Yeah, but
I
if I
mean-
I bought this in July, August, I don't know, but the only thing the only other suggestion I have is I was thinking of making the house a little smaller. I have a smaller footprint that I've been, so it moves it's not gonna move it 50 feet away, but it would certainly, but I just don't wanna,
Is there a way to put the driveway on the other side?
no, the septic is there.
Right.
You gotta be
You
100
don't
feet.
have enough room?
Well, the septic's gotta be far away from the wetlands, 100 feet, so you get into that, yeah.
So this is 100 feet away from the wetland.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't put the
Can't put
septic
over
on this
there.
side
Right.
and the house over
Right,
here.
right.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah, but
And
you turn left, you go,
so,
you hit a
so,
wall, you go right,
you
you
know,
go to wall.
so the other thing that I would look at is, this is upgradient of
Right.
your well.
Yeah.
You would rather have the well upgradient of the septic,
You don't want the septic on the
because you don't
wetland
want the
side.
septic going into the well.
Yeah, but you have to be 100 feet away from the wetlands.
Well,
so
no,
you
no,
can't-
no,
you can't
you know,
put-
we're trying to, I mean, we got a lot of moving pieces here, we're trying
Yeah.
to make it work, and,
I would do it that way if I could, you know.
So Gray,
Yes.
is Rob gonna be in tomorrow?
Yes, he should be.
it's gonna snow.
Tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the one thing we could do is not make a decision tonight, talk to Rob, and then make the recommendations.
I mean, yeah. It's, and like I said, it's recommendations. I mean,
You can go to planning board and, you know, we make recommendations that go to the planning board, the planning board
Planning
then.
board is the one that actually issues the waiver.
Yeah, they are the ones who would look at our
Make the decision.
recommendations and say,
Okay,
if
yeah.
we agree
I
with them,
figured
we
that.
don't agree with them, we agree with some, we don't agree with all.
Now I know what you meant, no teeth.
right,
Again,
sorry.
I forgot that,
Yeah,
yeah, planning makes.
we're
the-
just advisory.
Like I said, I don't wanna cause heavy lifting for
No,
anybody.
you're not,
I can-
that's, you've done what you're supposed to do. Now, we have to do something, and then we need to give you
So,
feedback.
to your point earlier, so, again, this has been a great experience. I've been doing this a long time, and Massachusetts is terrible to work with, but I've worked in Marlborough and Guilford, and I love working up here, and they've been great. The planning board, planning department has been fantastic to work with. And essentially, they're issuing the waiver, right, for this.
Right.
I sit down with them, and if they're issuing the waiver, giving me the opinion that this would be okay, that's, ties into more of what I was saying. Maybe they think it's, I don't know, but I would assume they,
They come from a different angle.
yeah, different angle. Right, right. But, well, I'll leave it like that, talk, yeah,
When you, question for you, when you build in Massachusetts, do you have to use silt socks around your whole,
oh, I'll use silt socks.
but do you have to use it around the whole perimeter?
Up gradient as well as down gradient?
No,
Oh, somebody told me that you did.
Yeah.
no. They do
Yeah.
a lot of other crazy things. but- No, not that, no.
We might ask that though.
So you would
Like
want
I
it,
said, ask.
you would want it
because-
here?
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want it on the total perimeter. That's my preference, but
During construction,
only because when it rains, it runs down
Washes.
into
yeah,
the thing and just makes
And
it.
then it'll wind up in the stream.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's,
I mean, that's just my preference,
that makes
but
sense.
someday it'll be law.
that's right. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we can talk to Rob and see what his suggestions are, if he has any different ideas before you start a whole new boundary.
Yeah, before you start doing that, Rob is gonna have a different feeling in terms of what the planning board would agree to. So if we say, hey, we want you to adjust the lot line, and you went to the planning department and said, hey, now I have to adjust the lot line, it's gonna cost me this, it's gonna cost me more time, on and on and on. They might say, no. So I would,
It's also better to have everyone in support when you go to that meeting, so you don't,
right,
I'll be doing it all. What if I put the sill sock here and all the way here and just completely box off the wetlands?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whether you do it or not, but yeah,
But to give you comfort that,
right,
because I get it, during
Well-
construction, there's a lot of
right.
things, it's not
A lot,
stabilized.
I mean, that would definitely help,
Yeah.
definitely.
But
I don't think there's a lot of options here, but, other
Well,
than move on.
not a lot of simple options, for sure.
No.
Right.
I mean, the thing that might be interesting is to look at, okay, so what's 50 feet over here? Because now you
Said
lost
it's really
probably,
wet, though.
you probably lost,
50 feet, I'm losing you.
this is 710, 714, so the water's coming this way, but this is like the high point. There's no road back here, a road
You
over
see, that would be
here.
a heck of a long driveway.
Well, you could never even get back here.
Yeah.
Right.
I would do no build from here, from this, I don't know what this line is, but from here back.
It is-
Oh, is that a wall? Is that a? No, there's
It's
no wall
a
there.
county soils data.
Okay.
County soils data.
Oh, yeah, 259C, yeah. it's
Right,
got-
right, okay.
Yeah, from here back, like, or even like, maybe, I don't know about this area, is that what, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you follow the whole wetland line here,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not gonna
can
build
just-
anything
You
back.
can follow
Yeah.
the topography and you really
I
know.
just, I've been following the ADU law, it seems like they might actually, I noticed Laconia just
Yeah.
did something nice too.
We
That was really good, that was very, really good for people.
The what?
Accessory dwelling,
accessory
Oh,
dwelling.
yeah.
Yeah, they're saying yes to most of them.
yeah.
So, I mean, the other thing we can do is we can ask Rob if we can move the house up.
Yeah, but he won't be, that'll be a zoning board. right?
Well, but, you know,
That's an, there'd be more work than I could lose. I could get denied.
Because actually,
And-
the neighbor's house looks closer than,
There was a pre-existing
yeah,
foundation.
yeah,
Right.
that's,
Yeah, it was a pre-existing
you could
one.
argue neighborhood though.
Honestly, I'll just move the lot line. That's heavy lifting. They're not gonna want me closer to Parade Road. I saw something, I know the setback is 75, but there was, I think it's something in the zoning or in the city planning, they want Parade Road to be.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense, you know. 'cause
right,
the-
it's a,
the
it's a
curve,
major, it's a major road.
It's a major road, you know.
And were you also looking for, a variance from the sidewalks? Did I see
I
that?
did a sidewalk waiver,
Waiver,
yeah.
Yeah, we agree with that.
that would be okay.
Yeah.
We don't
They
like,
did
we
too.
don't like pavement.
Yeah, you don't, yeah, you're my team on that one.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, you gotta
Yeah.
give a little, take a little.
Where are they gonna go if I
Out
put
in the middle of
sidewalks?
nowhere,
It's
right.
gonna
Yeah.
dead end,
Right.
yeah.
They can walk
Let's
back and
keep it-
forth in front of their house, that's it.
Let's keep it rural that way.
Right.
Well, but when this guy comes to develop, he's gonna have to have a sidewalk. No, we don't like sidewalks.
Not out there.
That's good, yeah, it's, no asphalt.
In fact, the director of Department of Public Works called us and said, "Hey, you guys denied a sidewalk? What's going on?" We said, "We don't like them."
We don't like
He said, "I don't like them either." So he was.
It's more for him, more work.
Okay, so I would say the issues are, what can be done with this house in terms of how can it be relocated on this building lot? Because the building lot's not very big, right?
It's because of the wetland setback. See, the building envelope would be bigger if
Right.
If you didn't have the
we
wetland.
didn't have the wetland setback, yeah.
Ooh. What if we built a wetland? What if you built a wetland
Again, I do have
over here?
a smaller house, actually. I was thinking of doing a little smaller after I got my construction budget together.
really, isn't
It would push it, maybe 10 feet further away in my, top of my head, but still not at the 50. I can't even, in this
10 feet is
kick,
better than nothing, 10 feet's.
it's more, yeah, it's
So-
better.
But you wouldn't have to revise your plans because you're
No.
just showing the building footprint here.
Right.
You don't have to build it
The
that
house, the house is, I have it on my phone. That's 46, let me see,
big. Scale,
pretty sure it's 46 wide.
1 inch is
So I got
40
17.
feet, 1 inch is 50 feet. Is that right?
I believe, she's not showing the full dimension. Okay, here we go. This house is 30 feet wide that I was working on. That's 46, so we'll pull it about,
15
I wouldn't
feet.
go exact, yeah, because it gets a little, but pull at least 10. Pull- Just to have 5,
So
6
then
feet
that,
of room for error.
Gives you what, 15 short?
Yeah.
So,
Better.
so maybe what we do is we'll make a list of things to talk to Rob
Yeah.
about tonight, so that you know what we're gonna talk to him about.
Yeah.
And,
I guess if you considered, again, you don't have to listen to me, come to me, if you were okay with a buffer 35 feet away in a condition, in the planning board made that condition, what I'm designing
You
anyways.
could work with
I can work with that.
Okay, hey, Gray,
Yes.
can you, let's take down the issues here, or the ideas, and then we can talk to Rob about them.
Okay.
So,
And then it'll allow me to push the driveway over too. Maybe not the full 10, but 5, something like that. It'll give us more room.
one would be to reduce the size of the house and by approximately 10 feet, 10 to 15 feet,
No, 10.
10 feet, 10 feet. Move the driveway, adjust the driveway toward the house, 10
It's
feet.
actually gonna be, so this is 40 feet deep, I'm sorry. I'm
That's okay.
to cut you off.
Okay,
I think I have proposed, maybe 28 feet deep. So the whole house is coming 10 feet width, it's coming smaller, and 10 length and width are both coming in. So it's gonna sit, a lot better, actually.
okay, so reduce the size of the house.
Yeah.
And that would make the encroachment on the buffer approximately 10 feet,
Yeah.
less. And what else? Not pave
No
the
paved
driveway. So these are things we're gonna talk to him about. He may say,
These would be
no,
our
I don't want,
recommendations,
yeah,
so-
and he
Which
may
we
say
get a
no.
list of anyway. Silt socks around the property.
Right.
At least on the two side, well, yeah, the downward side and the front
Along
and the wetland
the
side.
southern side,
Is that, no,
right here,
is it,
Right.
is that the side?
yeah,
Okay.
southern side. So if you adjust the size of the house, can you reduce the size of the septic? How does, the septic goes by the number of bathrooms, right?
Bedrooms.
Bedrooms, yes.
Bedrooms,
Okay, bedrooms, sorry. I know this. Yeah, so
I
then.
wouldn't
what-
want to, yeah.
Yeah,
please,
don't worry about it,
No.
okay. Okay. And then, I mean, the other possibility is you move the house closer to Parade Road, but from a safety standpoint, that may not be a good idea.
There's gonna be a lot of pushback on that.
Okay. And then,
And then do you have a, a planting plan?
I don't, nothing, no one's asked me for anything to do anything yet.
Like as part of
for
your,
landscaping,
as part of your building plans, no? Landscaping?
No, I was gonna do, lumen seed and hydro seed and do some
We
plantings out
would have
front.
some specific suggestions for that.
Yeah,
too.
no,
As far as,
yeah.
maybe,
I've done
maybe some
that.
trees and maybe
Oh, yeah, I've
some
done
natural planting.
native plants
Right.
and things like that.
Are you going to leave as much of the, rock wall as you can?
Oh, if I can, yeah. Oh, they're beautiful.
keep the tree removal to a minimum.
And then we would have suggestions about, salt usage and pesticides and herbicides. Snow storage, it's gonna be on that side of the wetlands.
It's gonna be
So
back
it
in
would be
here.
important not to have salt and
Right.
wet snow.
So you're putting your well here. So you're gonna plow this driveway, you're gonna plow it down that way. Why don't you move your well over here? You don't wanna do that?
Goes over, can't, that's the creek goes over the lot line.
No, you move it like,
Yeah, no,
right in where it says
But then
proposed
your
well.
radius goes over the lot line, you can't have a radius over a lot line without, then you need an
Okay.
easement.
So Do you know what your radius is gonna be on this well?
75. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a 75, okay,
75.
I got you. So it's just a standard 75?
Yeah,
It's not
so we
based-
couldn't, we couldn't move it, that's why it's there. Cause you get into, now you're on the other lot.
Yeah, but it
You
wouldn't,
can be on this lot here because this is a wetland, so they let you allow you to overlap it. But if there's not a wetland, you can't overlap it, that's a DES rule.
okay, I was thinking about it from the standpoint of how much water, you know, what's the cone of influence from pumping a well? And you're saying you just have to get it 75 feet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it doesn't make a difference what I'm talking about. Okay. And so the other thing, Gray, is, and this is, you know, this is for Rob and Tyler and you, we don't like wetland surveys in the summer.
I said, I don't think we can tell
No,
them
no,
when
no,
to do
I'm
it,
just,
but, yeah.
it's, you know, it's just to tell Tyler and Rob that we don't like wetlands delineated in the summer because it's dry. And in fact, there was a guy up on Lexington who did that, and we made him go back and redo the wetlands in the spring. He had to go back and redo the wetland delineation in the spring. We're not talking about that here, although it might not be a bad idea. So, how much did the wetland survey cost? Do you remember?
It's a few $1,000. And they gotta plot it on the plans.
So when they go, so somebody's gonna buy this lot and they're gonna do the development?
Yes, it's a woman from, she lives here in Southdown Shores. She lives with her parents, and she wants to build, she lives with her parents. It's a young girl,
Okay.
she wants to build herself her own house.
Okay, so when the lady for this proposed lot does her wetland survey,
There are no wetlands on there. We did the survey of the whole 5 acres.
yeah, but you did it in August. I want it done in the spring, cause it may be that the wetlands are up further, but we can figure that out somehow. This is pretty steep grade here.
That's her lot line, right, in the back? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
Ooh. Okay. I don't know, is there anything else?
Not that I can think of right now.
Bob, can you think of anything else?
No,
Okay, so we'll have, so what we do is we'll make recommendations, so they'll type up the recommendations and they'll send it to you and they'll send it to the planning board.
Okay.
All right, and the recommendations will be based on those 3 or 4 or 5 things that we just talked about. And when do you usually send the typed version out?
Usually following the posting of the minutes, so
Okay,
a week or so.
okay, so you get them in a couple of days, all right? Good.
Yeah, if Rob has any other ideas, we can let him know. It's the speaker.
Oh, from the paper?
You hit it, yeah. Yeah, if Rob has any other ideas, we can let you know.
Yeah, he might not, he might say that he doesn't agree with us. Wouldn't be the first time, but anyway. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you have
Thank
safe
you.
trip home.
Thank you.
Yes, have a better trip home. Get
I'm
something
gonna
to
go
eat
eat.
first, yeah.
Good night.
Good luck.
Okay, were we supposed to have another applicant tonight?
No, just the one.
Okay.
All right, so for the rest of the meeting, just try to, I was reminded to speak into the microphone because they
Okay.
want to hear us a little bit more on the live stream.
People are watching?
Okay, so we'll go back to the agenda now, and we'll do the minutes from the January 15th, hard to believe, meeting.
Oh, I had a, correction. Under number 11, other business, and Shauna Sanders. In that paragraph, you say, Dean Anson would like the Concom to continue talking with Shauna Saunders at Lakes Region Planning Commission about areas. Got an extra R in there. Well,
Tools
gonna-
that they, in the next sentence, they instead of hey, they have.
I think that was all I saw. I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes
Second?
of January 15th with those corrections.
Did you have anything else, Bob? Did you have anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, good. Okay. Okay, before we go any further, Mike told us at the last meeting that he was going to be out because he's having heart surgery.
Yes.
So the rules say that if you miss a certain number of meetings in a row, then you're removed from the commission. So could you put in the minutes that Mike is having surgery? I think he just had it,
Okay.
and he's going to be out for several months
Medical
Okay.
reasons.
for medical reasons,
Okay.
just so that he doesn't get bumped from the commission. Okay. We don't have any,
Before we move on from minutes, just a reminder that the previous minutes from December are still
Oh,
open.
That's right. That's
are they here?
No, they're not in there, I don't, but we had, we carried them to this meeting because, they weren't in the same form that we wanted, I guess.
Okay, so what are we gonna do? The only
can-
thing we could do is ask Ray to redo them. But you don't have the tape anymore, do you?
So last meeting, the Concom voted and decided that everyone would send me any edits or changes they wanted made to the minutes so that they could be updated and voted on during this meeting.
And you didn't get any.
Correct.
Okay, so this is the January 15th minutes we're talking about,
No, it's
No, the
December
December.
4th.
Yep.
December 4th. Okay, December 4th. Okay.
I think it was just that, you know, it was confusing, some of it was confusing, but, I'm ready to make a motion to accept them.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll make a motion that we, accept the minutes from Wednesday, December 4th, 2023.
24.
24, sorry, gosh.
Okay.
Second?
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
I
Opposed? Okay,
mean, we have figured out the way we want to see the minutes now,
right,
so I think we're fine with that.
okay. All right, So now we're down to, okay. So we have this, under old business, we have this list of items that we were going to go, originally started out with a list of items that we were going to give to the planning department of what we would like to see changed in the city's rules and regulations. Do we have any other ones that we want to submit besides, they're the ones that are listed under?
I'm not sure these are all of them, are they?
Well, but part of them, well, like the charging stations should go down here.
Oh, I see, okay.
So, under old business, actually, if you move the new business portions if you move the new business portions to at the end of where it says Langley Brook, 9, Roman numeral 7.
Yep.
Then I think they're all in the right order. So EV charging stations, winter treatment of snow, fertilizer controls and erosion mitigation, that, all of those are part of the old, those are all 8, item 8s.
Right.
And then the new business, 9-1, Parade Row application, and the conservation plan.
Yeah.
Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's right.
Yeah, they kind of got split up, that's all.
Okay, so the question is, under old business, all of these 8s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 8 of them. Is there anything else we want to add? I'd like to, I'd like to complete this so that we can give it to the planning department so they can take a look at them and see which ones are doables and which ones aren't doable.
I would add my expansion of the use of silt socks.
Okay.
Is that too specific?
No, I don't think it's too specific. Think we can add that as another item under old business? Under old business. I mean, Bob, does that make sense, you think?
Yeah.
Okay,
They should be together, yeah.
okay. So now, Gray, in previous minutes, we had more verbiage that went under each one of these items,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
right? Okay, so, so if you could just, so I think if what we did is put the verbiage under each one from the previous minutes, then we can just, maybe what we can do is ask Tyler and/or Rob to come so we can talk about each one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Rob actually was hoping to join us tonight, but he couldn't make it, so I'm sure he'll be happy to come to the next meeting.
Okay,
Can
that
ask
would be
him.
great. That'd be great. Then we can kind of put those to bed, and
Yeah.
he can,
Yeah.
see if any of them are helpful or not.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask Gray. Gray, did you find out if the city was in line to get any of that DES money for EV stations?
For the next level awards.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I passed that on to Rob and asked him, and he said that Laconia was not on the list when he looked into it, which,
which is kind of crazy when you think about all the tourists we get up here.
yeah.
Huh. Is there a way for Laconia to ask DES about that, or ask to be added to the list?
I'm not sure. We can definitely look into that. It would also be something that the Conservation Commission of Laconia reaching out to them and asking to be on the list. Maybe that would get us added.
Okay.
Yeah, I can look into that.
Yeah, if he would, I mean, we could definitely write a letter as our commission.
Yeah.
But if that were something, maybe, I don't know, you can ask Rob what he thinks about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I, I reached out to Wes Anderson to ask him if the city has trained its workers in the, whatever it's called, the Green Snow Pro or Snow
Right.
Go, whatever it is. He said that they are trained,
I thought so.
which is good. Okay. I'm kind of at a loss of where to go from here, but anyway, we'll do that. Okay, so, so I had several other things like, Gray, you sent out the bids for milfoil,
Yes.
and that, they were all for Dash?
Yeah, so they're all for Dash. To my understanding, because they did herbicide last year, they wait time before they reintroduce that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so is a decision to go with the lowest bidder?
Yeah, that's what I understood as Amy Smagula was describing it. They take the lowest bid for Pogus and also for OPG, and then now we have the paperwork from DES. It has to go to City Council twice, and then hopefully it gets approved, signed, and then we can send it back and she can get the ball rolling as far as contracts.
Okay, so the Dash is for work on Opeechee and Paugus Bay only?
Yes, those are the only ones we got back from DES.
Right.
Yes.
'Cause my understanding is that there's no milfoil along the border of Laconia in Winnisquam. So that's why,
Okay.
or, that's my understanding,
At least as of last year.
as of
Yeah.
last year and the year
Yes.
before.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, so we're talking about roughly $30,000 for,
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it's somewhere just over like 26 is what half of it would be. So,
20, yeah, for 20 days.
yeah.
Okay.
so the city's responsibility is for 26?
So the city is responsible for 50% of the work cost, and DES grant would cover 50%. So, the total amount, yes, would be 26, just over 26.
Okay, good. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, I'm sure that this makes it, from my perspective, it makes this a lot simpler. You know, it's all buttoned up. Thank you.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you. Okay, so, did you talk to Rob about an intern? Us getting an intern?
Yeah, so Rob said when he told me he wouldn't be able to make tonight, he said to inform Concom that he would look into getting an intern. So I'm sure he'll be happy to follow up about that, maybe at the next meeting if he's able to make it. But he said he'll start looking into it.
Okay, I think that going to Plymouth State and to Antioch.
Yeah, those are the school. I think one other was mentioned, but Plymouth State and Antioch were on the list that was that you guys provided to him
Yeah,
for a
maybe,
place to start.
maybe Lakes Region Community College
yeah.
also.
Okay.
Okay, good. Oh, that's great. Okay. And then, did you talk to him about getting a consultant to revise the NRI, to update it?
So we reached out to Luke Powell via email, just waiting for a response from him. We don't have contact information for, I think his name was Mike Vanderpool.
No,
someone
they're not in
Vanderpool.
business anymore.
Okay. So then we've sent
No,
the,
no, Vanderpool. Rick Vanderpool.
Rick Vanderpool. Okay, yes.
If you Google Rick Vanderpool, his email address should come up.
Okay. So I'll try to reach out to him as well, but we've reached out to Luke Powell, so we're just waiting for a response.
Great. And did Rob say how we would pay such a consultant?
He didn't say yet, so we can talk about that also
Okay.
if he comes to the next meeting.
Budget wasn't discussed.
Okay. So when I talked to Wes Anderson in DPW, I asked him about Gale Avenue. And he's got Gale Avenue on his agenda to do in the summer. He said he can't do it in the spring because he's down several employees, and he said he'll be able to do it in the summer, and that we should plan on doing plantings in the fall. So the thing I didn't ask him was if he can help us do the other half of the Gale Avenue project, which is a Concom portion that Rick put together the drawings for. The other thing we need is the checklist that developers have to fill out for the Conservation Commission portion of, or the entire checklist for when a developer comes in, what do they need to provide the city so that the city can, just so we can make sure that all of the Concom stuff is on it. Okay, so under 9, you have conservation plan, what, 9.11? No, 1I. What is that?
That was actually the picture of.
Yeah, that was the map
Oh,
from
okay,
the
yeah,
application.
all right, great, okay,
Yeah, that was.
thank you.
The map of that project.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's the list of city-owned properties, and there are two parts. One part is a map, and the other is a typed-out version with the parcel numbers, property address, and the owner's name, whether it's cemetery or it's a school, pump station, whatever, okay. And then in the back of this, of the agenda is the technical memo from Lake Winnipesaukee. It's not association anymore, but that's what they put, so, because that was in, oh, okay. So we have, actually, this has to do with, oh, this is the Paugus Bay assessment.
Right. This has to do with the project over on Langley Cove.
Okay, all right, so this is the May 2024 technical memo, and then after that is the Resort on the Bay project. That was when I last talked to Bree Rossiter, she said it's before governor and council for financing. And when I talked to Wes Anderson, he is aware of what Resort on the Bay is proposing to do vis-a-vis his Weirs Boulevard Bridge replacement project.
Okay.
So just so everybody is coordinated there. So this is for Langley Cove, and we still have, Bree sent me, and I don't know, I guess I didn't send it to you, Ray, I will send it to you. She sent me the assessment that was done by FB Environmental of Langley Brook, where they identified, I think it was 8 different locations where action should be taken to improve the water quality by reducing the amount of sedimentation that was going into Langley Cove. So I'll get you that, and then I think what we need to do is we need to probably talk to FB Environmental and see if they can give us a ballpark estimate of how much it would cost to do those modifications to the stream.
Okay.
Some of those locations are on Brady Sullivan project, property. And many of the other ones, I think there are 4 that are on property owned by Prescott Farm. And I talked to Prescott Farm, they would give us authorization to enter their property and to look at these.
I just,
Deb, do you have anything?
I do. I have a couple of dates. The NHACC, New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions, has a Lunch and Learn series tomorrow, February 6th at noon. There is a Zoom that you can sign up for. It is an overview, state of the state clean energy in New Hampshire. And they're starting that series in preparation for Earth Day, which is April 22nd. And the theme for Earth Day this year nationally is Our Power, Our Planet. So they're looking at the state of power and clean energy in New Hampshire. on February 12th, DES has a water systems cybersecurity Zoom webinar. You can go to DES and sign up for that. I'm not sure what time that is, but I know it's on their website. February 27th, New Hampshire ACC has Lunch and Learn series again on local clean energy success stories. That is at 12 o'clock. That's also a webinar, a Zoom. I think that's it.
So did they give you the Zoom addresses?
Not yet. When you
Okay, you have to
when you
sign up.
register, you'll be on their list to get it. They'll email it.
Okay. So Gray, what was your takeaway from the Zoom meeting with, what was it called?
The New Hampshire Wildlife.
Yeah, New Hampshire Wildlife. What was your takeaway on that?
I really thought, well, I enjoyed that they gave such a kind of more expansive or detailed presentation than I've seen before of different types of wetlands and habitats. So that was cool. And I really am interested in the maps that she showed. And I think they were talking about the software Granite, which seems pretty similar to ArcGIS. And seeing those and being able to zoom in and it show and delineate where the different types of habitats are around your city in the state of New Hampshire was really cool. So I reached out to her about getting the information for those maps and where I could access them, and they said they would be in a follow-up email. So I'm looking forward to exploring that more. And then their last slide about applying for their assistance on a project really piqued my interest, and I don't know if it was Deb or Dean mentioning maybe them helping with the NRI would be a great opportunity. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Was that a UNH cooperative program?
UNH Extension.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extension. Thank you.
Yeah, the thing, so we did a cohort with them over on the WOW Trail, and they were very helpful. It was essentially what it was is you prepare a proposal of what you want to do, it goes to them, and then they have maybe 4 people that walk you through, okay, did you do this? Did you think about that? And you get to collaborate with the other people that are doing cohorts so that you can learn from them too.
Yeah.
So it's like one of the things, like this map of city-owned properties, the thing that would be, the way I view it is, we could look at those properties and see which ones are really sensitive, that maybe we could ask, right now, Parks and Rec takes care of these properties.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we could separate out some that we could use to build pollinator gardens or whatever. But I think that back to the topic at hand, one of the things I would like to do is I would like to see us put together documentation to present to the city council and to the planning board saying, this is the area of the city that should not be developed. Because we had this man come tonight and, he had done his work, but that's a piece of property that perhaps could have been put into a conservation easement.
Yeah.
And so I think that if we can look at the NRI, the wildlife action plans, we can look at whatever other, like they talked about the Lakes Region Conservation Plan, I think it was called. We ought to be able, I'll
yeah.
call Shanna Saunders and ask her for a copy of it.
Okay.
And, start putting all this documentation together, and then when we do the NRI, maybe it'll all fit together, and we can ask them as, that's a possibility for being a cohort
Yeah.
project,
That would be great.
But I mean, it will be, I think this is the big undertaking.
Yeah. Get the ball rolling. Yeah, if you have all the documentation, hopefully, if they're able to help, we can just jump right in if we already have all the materials together. That would
Yeah.
be the dream. And if you're able to get an intern, that would also be great. So,
I think, if we could get an intern who could help us do that,
do the documentation and stuff.
start putting all these things together so we can see, they were talking about co-occurrence. So where are there several things that fit together that say this piece of property should not be developed because it has wetlands, it has some critical habitat, there are endangered species that are there.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can start,
It's a corridor. Part of a corridor, maybe?
yeah, start putting together, and this is, if we're gonna start putting together corridors, then we're gonna have to look to the abutting towns. And it probably would even make sense to get, New Hampshire Electric Cooperative and Eversource involved. You've got these ROIs, ROWs. All this alphabet soup is killing me. So I think there's a lot of information, and we need to start to put it together. We don't need to spend a lot of money going out and gathering data.
Yep.
And then maybe we can start to target, what they were talking about. Like there are several big pieces of property up around Pickerel Pond that are undeveloped. And we talked to one of the people that owns like 80 acres up there, said has no plan for doing development.
Well, that would be awesome.
Well, and that's nice because Meredith on their side has, conserved a lot of it. So
Right.
it would be nice.
Okay. So I would say we'll have to talk to Lisa about ordering plants for Gale Avenue, and we would have to do that when she does her plant sale.
So she's doing that now. I should have written it down. I think the orders have to be in by March 8th. So they're, the order form is right online, Belknap County Conservation District. And they've got the tree sale, the bulb sale, and trout, if you want any fish. But I'm not sure if we ordered plants from her that we would, if we're not planning until the fall now, we might have to talk to her and see if there's a different time we could order.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, the other thing we could do is, sometimes you can find a place to, temporarily put the plants in and let them, but it would be better to get them fresher, so.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if we can get the issue with the intern and get that nailed down so that in the early summer, we can have them help us revise the NRI and put these different piles of information together, that would be. Okay. So we don't have any subcommittee reports, right?
Do you have anything, Bob?
No,
No?
Oh, actually, Bob and I do. They changed the color of the roads up in the Taylor community. They're now white.
yeah, well, of course, it's the old story, it will,
Too much salt.
excess of salt, yeah,
Yikes.
yeah.
But I think, it would be. So Gray, could you talk to Rob and see who he thinks would be the right party to talk to Taylor Community, to Southdown and Long Bay and other major developments in the area about,
That are private.
that are private, that are, that use salt and, so we can encourage them to get certified in the Green Snow Pro or. Because I think if we can't just single one development out and not ask the others.
Maybe, although they're not usually open in this winter, I was thinking about some of the mobile home parks. Briarcrest, they probably have their own plowing, so they're year round.
Yeah, I think ask Rob for direction on how to do that and who should do it. We can't, I don't think we can require them to do it. We can make a suggestion.
Right.
And perhaps there's another thing down the road. You probably noticed that the stockpiles of snow are growing, and who knows how much salt, for example, is in those piles, and what's going to happen to them down the road.
Gray, where is the city taking its snow now? Because it used to take it up Province Road to where the new development is.
I'm not sure where they're taking it now.
Okay, so that's a
I
good
could
question
ask
for
them
Rob.
to-
Sorry, we're making a lot of work for you.
And I think the other thing is on the list of city requirements, I don't know how many more big developments are going to be taking place, but asking or requiring them to have their snow handling company be trained in Green Snow Plow.
Certified. Be certified?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Certainly the one by the state school. That would definitely
Right,
be big
yeah,
enough.
yeah. So, yeah, specifically on the state school property. And then there was a time, Gray, when we were talking about locating on a map where the vernal pools are. Do we have such map?
No, so one does not currently exist. One
Yeah,
can
it would
be
be outdated.
created.
I'm sorry?
One can be created and put into the software like ArcGIS, but it doesn't already exist, so no one's created one already that I've found
I think
anyway.
we said we had to do that.
We have to do
That we
it?
have to find them, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have to find them.
Okay.
But like the one that's up on Lafayette, we know that one's there. And then these developers come in and they're like, oh, here's one. I know that there are 2 or 3 up on Taylor property,
Yeah,
and I'll get the locations of those.
There's one on the Gardens property.
That's right. You know, the Gardens site?
Yeah.
And then there's,
There was a small one by that access road that we walked last year, up above the weirs. It was gonna be just an emergency access road from that development. What's it called? Off of White Oaks Road. The development that's there now.
White Oaks Road. What development's on White Oaks Road?
what's that?
The development on White Oaks Road closer to the weirs. It's the back of Brady Sullivan.
Yes,
Anyway.
Yeah.
We walked that access road and there was a little one. There was a tiny one that we saw right by the road.
Okay, and we know that there's one on Homestead's property over on Holman.
No,
You know the Homestead property we're talking about?
yeah, he knows. Where's the map? Oh, they took the map down?
Yeah, maybe we can follow that up in the email. Because it would be perfect, actually. So, you want to make a list?
We want to put them on a map.
Right. So, are you able to look at a map and start marking down where you know there are pools to kind of give me a draft that I could try to put as a layer on the software we have? Or
We could do that. We could do
Okay.
that.
yeah, because if you can kind of on a map start to mark off where you believe there are vernal pools, we can verify them and I can put them in the computer
Okay,
and start to build a layer.
because there's one. There's at least one on Prescott Farms. At least one, there are probably 2, maybe 3 on Prescott Farms property,
yeah.
right?
That'll be a good spring
yeah.
project.
Okay, so we'll start documenting them so we can keep track of them. Okay, anything else? What about staff report?
Nothing from staff report. The stuff we already mentioned earlier. Just Rob said he would look into the intern, and I believe that's it. The update about the milfoil grant, just that has to go through City Hall or City Council twice. So those are both February meetings. And then hopefully Kirk should be able to sign it, and then we have to snail mail it back to Amy Smagula. Then once she receives that, she can draw up the contracts. So,
Okay, good.
Maybe we should drive it down to Concord.
yeah, might be quicker.
I
We wouldn't
ma-
have to get
I
certified mail.
I had a letter that I sent to Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia. It
Yeah.
took 2 weeks.
Really?
Just a letter, just a card, a birthday card.
Wow.
It was crazy.
I might as well call them.
Yeah.
Anytime I send something to Portland, Oregon, it takes at least a week.
A week is one thing, but 2 weeks to go to Virginia?
For a letter.
Yeah, it was a birthday card. My poor friend thought I had forgotten. I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Okay. Any comments, ideas, suggestions? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Oh, nobody opposed, good. Okay, so the next meeting of that wildlife is 2 weeks from today. And that one's about, isn't that one about habitats?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
So that would be the 19th?
yes, And-
What time are they?
4 to 5:15. The perfect timing.
Okay.
We get our act together and